Welcome to the realm where stars align, cards of wisdom beyond space and time. Lunar affinity, light the way, guided protection, here to stay. On your path the truth unfolds, guides will whisper, stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the Terran's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey everyone, welcome into another live stream. Happy eclipse night. Happy eclipse night. It's gonna happen at its peak in a couple hours for where I'm located. On the East Coast, I think they said 2:55 in the morning. So happy eclipse night. Hopefully everyone is being treated well by this eclipse. I feel like it's rocking me. I think in a positive way, but I just can't quite see it yet. So this eclipse is pretty powerful for me. It's transiting my 6th house right now of just my home life, my career, like my day-to-day routines and structures, and like I just feel very chaotic. And I should feel more organized, and I don't. So hopefully the eclipse is treating you guys much better. Go ahead and drop your questions below. I just want to make sure that you guys know the rules. 1 question per person, yes, no format. Make sure you like the live. I also need you to be present for your free yes, no question, okay? Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it, Fire Spawn. Feeling woozy. Yeah, just feeling kind of off, right? Let's take a look. Hey, Amy. So if you have a yes, no question you would like to ask, just drop that below in the chat. If you are new here, I do have a timer on this video where once you are subscribed for 5 minutes, you can drop your question in the chat. That is not something you will experience every single time. Once you subscribe, as long as you stay subscribed, you'll never have an issue talking in the chat, but I do appreciate you guys liking the live stream in advance anyways. Really appreciate that. Also want to let you guys know that donations are open this evening. My price list is in the description of this video, and I have readings for anywhere from $5 all the way up to $35. So there's a range. I try to be as accessible as I can with my pricing. So if you want to take a look, if you have questions about any of that, let me know. The link in the pinned comment will take you directly to my link tree, which contains my Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo information if you're wanting to get a reading with me tonight. Emily, that sounds great. You just let us know, okay? All right, let's get started on the free questions. So we're going to start with Mariana. Will I find love this month? March 2025. I have a no for you, Mariana. It's a 5 of Wands. So this feels like a bit of a challenge still for you to be able to achieve this month, but I do see you overcoming this at some point, I feel, this year. All right, Chibi, let's see. Has David been thinking of you romantically? I have a no. I have the Tower, Chibi. Maybe that will change. The Tower does signify change. Aesthetic Delta. Aesthetic. I do think this is possible. Aesthetic, I'm going to say yes. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is the energy of a man who has a plan. So I feel if it's in your heart to make it happen, you can make this happen. Fire Spawn. Fire Spawn, let's see. I have a yes. This is the card of communication. For Fire Spawn, your answer is yes. Amy. I have a yes for you, Amy. Ace of Cups. The cup of romance, crushes, and interest. Emily R. Emily R. I have a yes. I have the King of Wands. If D is a Leo, Aries, or Sag, this will be like, this is being double acknowledged, basically. Margaret, good evening. All right, Margaret, yes or no for Margaret? I actually saw this in my mind's eye before the card came out. I am getting a yes for you, Margaret. Easier times ahead. You're welcome, Fire Spawn. You're welcome, Amy. You're welcome, Emily. You're welcome, Aesthetic. Hey, Roses, welcome in. Hey, Nat, welcome in. I wonder if he's feeling that way because I don't know if it was clear, but it kind of like Jacob and his girlfriend are broken up. Well, if you want to donate, Amy, we can look into that for you. Let's see here. Who's next? Love. Will my finance be better in April? Let's take a look here. I have a yes, 3 of Pentacles for love. Hey, girl, hey. Ari. I am getting a no, Ari. I have the 4 of Pentacles. In this deck, it talks about either just like a no to your question, or if there is anybody that's you've like caught their eye, they haven't really explored any kind of crush or any kind of feeling like that just yet. If you're wanting to bring more out, then maybe post more often and post more videos like this, then maybe your answer will change. But as of right now, no crushes. They're not looking. Like, I don't know if you saw on that card, their eyes were closed. So, okay. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, Ari. All right. This is for Nat. Will not find a love partner this year. Will not find a love partner this year, 2025. I am getting a yes for you, Nat. I see a guy here for you. Romantic interest. We have water sign, fire sign, temperance. Is that Virgo? What is temperance? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, temperance is Sag. So yeah, fire sign, water sign, maybe. Amy, that sounds good. You're welcome, Nat. All right. Roses. Is Taurus still interested in seeing roses? Is Taurus still interested in seeing roses? I have a yes, 6 of Pentacles for you, Roses. I feel like he or she's not really sure, like, if this is something you're interested in. Maybe they're trying to create some kind of strategy to communicate or something, but this is all in the planning stages as of right now. You're welcome, Nat. All right, this is for culture. I feel like this is a no culture. I know you want to look more, you want to work more independently. This is a no for me. I feel like in order to get out from under this person's thumb, you'll just have to like be independent. You'll have to like go somewhere else or do something else. Sweeter. You're welcome, culture. This is for Sweeter. Sweeter, Six of Pentacles is a yes. It is the card of balance. So whatever you're putting out, you're getting back, if that makes sense. So this could be like a week of karma for you, like all the good you've done, you get back, you receive. It doesn't feel like anything super grand, but it does feel like good things coming your way. Shavana. Hey Jay, the free list is closed for the night. If you want to donate, you're more than welcome to. It's $5 for a yes/no question, or if you want to elaborate a little further, you can do a mini reading. It's up to you. If not, you can wait until I am live again for another opportunity at a free question. You're welcome, Sweeter. Savannah. Okay, so the High Priestess is a maybe. I am leaning towards a yes for you. But the High Priestess talks about intuition. So it's stating that you have to follow your gut when it comes to this person. You guys are going to have some things you have to work through. There's going to be a lot of growth in this relationship. And I think that as long as you both are putting in the effort, this relationship will be successful. If you want to talk more about that, you can donate if you'd like. All right. So I've got a donation for Amy. We've got a mini reading. Let me pull up Instagram real quick. All right, Amy, I'm reading your message right now, okay? Dreams are so funny because I see the way that you're typing this summary here, Amy, and you're like question, because you're like, honestly, I don't know. Because dreams a lot of times don't make sense, and you a lot of times can't even remember everything, so you just have like flashes, like bits and pieces, so it's like hard to put together, and I can tell as you're typing it. All right, let's take a look here. The dreams are wild. It was just wild that instead of being mean and bullying me in real life. Yeah, I got you. All right, so let's take a look how he's feeling and thinking towards you. You're welcome, Savannah. Well, the Empress is out. We love to see that. So an extra card popped out. I'm just going to put that at the end. So we're going to straighten these cards out a little bit here. So, okay. I think, Amy, again, this is not the question I asked, but just like intuitively, I do think you're going to see this person. I do. But regardless of what they're thinking and feeling, I think that he is trying to manifest a kind of encounter or run in with you. I do feel like he's in an impulsive or hasty mindset right now. So if it is true that him and his girlfriend are no longer together, I want you to be careful of this energy because it might be fun and flirty with him. However, it can be very temporary. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, we're coming up on Mercury retrograde. Let me just double check. Yeah, so starting on Saturday, we're going into Mercury retrograde. So this talks about how this energy can be very unstable. And so he might be thinking very like impulsively. Wait, did you say Saturday was the birthday? You did say it was Saturday. Okay. So that's why you're laughing. So I just want you to be aware that the attention you receive from him might be more of a reboundy energy. It doesn't mean that it's not stemming from an organic and sincere place, but it may be elevated due to the nature of his like situation right now. So just be aware of that. I do feel like he is trying to manifest some type of encounter with you and trying to, I don't know, find some kind of escape. It seems like the King of Wands presents very fiery, very creative. This is the energy of maybe wanting to get you alone somewhere. I don't think he's here to disrespect his friend, your brother, or your parents, but I do think that there's been kind of a little something, we don't really know what it is, but there's clearly been some kind of tension or chemistry between you guys. And I think that he would be open to exploring that further with you. He is viewing you and feeling like you're extremely beautiful. This could be current energy, but it also can be the energy of when he sees you on Saturday. So make sure you're dressed to the nines. I want you looking great. I want you feeling really good about yourself on Saturday. And he's also considering like where this can go. If I plant the seeds, where it can go. He might even act a little different towards you than usual. So you might not feel much like meanness or whatever, but you might see more maybe reserved. Maybe he's trying to come across a little more mature or something along those lines. I do think that his natural self is still under there, So, I mean, he could still poke fun and things like that, but I think he is trying to come across more mature. He is going through it though. With the Three of Swords, he's still experiencing a hard time and he's feeling pretty trapped with these feelings that he has. So that's why I just want you to be careful going into this energy, to not think too far ahead, because until we get out of this Mercury retrograde well into April, like second week of April, after all the after effects and everything, that's when I think it can be kind of safe to feel more stable in that energy. But right now, maybe not so much. I still think you'll see him. I still think you'll have a good time. And I do think that he is going to be seeking you out. I think he's going to be scanning the room. He's going to be looking for you. He's going to be hoping that you're there. So not going to lie, part of me called it that him and her really wouldn't last. Not saying that in a bad way, just had a feeling, like I told my brother about it. The thing is that he's young, and yeah, time will tell and we'll see. But the thing is he's young. So he likely isn't going to be with the person. I mean, there are situations, there are stories where you meet someone young and you are with them for the rest of your life. It does happen, but statistically, you meet someone young, you probably aren't going to be with them forever. And I think he's still kind of a little like bummed about this, messed up about it. Like, I even think that because we're going into a retrograde, he could even get back together with this girl. So it maybe even be possible that by like next week or something, he's like in communication with her again. Like, it could be one of those on again, off again situations. And again, that's why I don't really want you to put yourself directly in that line of fire, and maybe give it a little bit more time before we approach something more. But there's nothing wrong with flirting. There's nothing wrong with letting someone flatter you and feeling good about the connection like that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's unstable. I can't really explain this energy right now, but for me this week, like, nothing feels grounded. I don't know where anyone is. Like, I didn't work on Monday because my husband was off. Tuesday I did offline readings, didn't see anyone. Yesterday I did live readings, didn't see anyone. Tonight I'm doing live readings, not seeing anyone. This is unheard of. This is unheard of. Usually I have people coming in making donations. And again, this is like my full-time job. So it's a little worrisome. I know that spiritual business is not recession proof, but this energy of this week is just beyond crazy. And I have never seen it so dead. By the way, I went over on TikTok last night for a little bit and did some readings over there. I'm going to try to do that more often. But, YouTube is my family. I just am like, this is crazy. Like, all the regular people that I normally see. Emily said, I'm going to donate in a bit, just cooking dinner. What are you cooking, Emily? Oh my God, I was going to say, usually it's so busy. Usually it's so busy. Oh, Amy, I was going to ask how you're feeling. Yeah, so this week has just been wild. Like this is more dead than even when I first started doing tarot, like back in like 2019, 2020. So that's kind of crazy to me. Obviously, I hope this energy does not continue into the following week, because I can't. This is how I make a living. So I've been kind of going back and forth. Like, do I go do Instacart? Do I go try to go do something different for a little while and then come back to this? But this kind of stuff happens. It ebbs and flows. And I know that just comes with the territory. It's kind of like serving, like if you serve at a restaurant, sometimes you're going to have really great weeks, really great months, and then sometimes you're not. And that's okay. That's why we have a savings plan. That's why we have a savings account. That's why we prepare for things like this. It's just a little concerning this week specifically, just because of how bare it's been. I'm like, I don't know where anyone is. It's not even, I'm like, I hope these people are okay. Like, I hope everyone's all right. Not even checking in, saying hi, or getting a free reading. I have so many regulars, and like, it's been crickets this week. So I hope everyone's okay. Hope everyone is doing all right. Emily, it is usually so busy. Oh, a rice veggie bowl. That sounds good. Feeling better today, still a little fatigued. That's so rough. I hope that you're not feeling as like sick, as nauseous. Something must be happening. Yeah, so there's a lunar eclipse blood moon that happens between tonight and tomorrow. Depending on where you live, depends on where it's going to peak at. And I think that it's definitely affecting people. I think that basically because it's a eclipse and a full moon, blood moon in Virgo specifically. Virgo talks about like priorities. It talks about what's important to you, where you need to focus your life, and things like that. And so with this eclipse in a blood moon in Virgo asking you to prioritize your life in certain areas depending on where it's transiting, you might not feel like maybe going to the gym is important for you right now. Maybe staying home will be. Or maybe you feel like instead of constantly going out to the clubs, you should be spending more time with family. Or instead of spending your money on things, you're saving it. Or maybe you're focusing more on your physical health or whatever. So it's like Virgo's strongly calling everyone right now to focus on their priorities and get like very organized. And I think that that's kind of what's going on this week. And I think, to be completely honest, I think people are scared about, how they're going to spend their money or what they're going to do with their money and things like that. Which is why I'm trying to get over on TikTok a little bit more, because I do want to share more about like holistic living and things like that, and maybe get over on like the TikTok shop. I don't want to be like promoting consumerism, but I do think that there are certain things that have helped me that might help other people. I also feel this huge shift within me to start focusing not less on spirituality, because spirituality is such a big part of me, but focusing more on like my home and like my lifestyle, my cooking, my organizing my home. At some point maybe having a baby, incorporating my parenthood journey. I want to start gardening, so maybe starting that and just focusing more on the home life, because at some point Brendan and I are going to move to maybe buy a piece of land and build a home. So all that stuff can kind of like naturally evolve. So I've been kind of toying with the idea of kind of redirecting my energy to a completely different thing that no one's really ever seen from me before. But everyone's life changes, everyone's life evolves, So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just 1 week. I can't like revamp my whole life based off of 1 week. But this does go to show that if you don't have multiple streams or sources of income coming in, how something like this could affect you. And that's inspiring. And I feel like that's what people need to hear. So you said Jello is sick too? Dang. No, she was in the hospital for walking pneumonia. Oh no, I have never had that, nor have I experienced someone that has it, but I hear it's really bad. And my husband has had it before. This was way before we met, so I don't know much about it, but he said it was like death. He said it's like experiencing death, just staying alive though at the same time. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad to hear she's okay now. Amy, and that's the part of my journey that like I don't want anyone to ever feel like I expect anything from you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I only want you to donate if you can and if you want to. I don't ever want to make anyone feel like they have to or whatever. Like, that's not my shtick. That's why I offer free readings. It's why I offer, accessible pricing on live streams. It's why I offer maybe more advanced pricing on personal readings because I want to be accessible to everyone. I don't want anyone to ever feel like, oh, that's what she has to do. But I'm just speaking generally. This is why I have been thinking of like alternative things to do, just because spiritual business is not recession proof. This is, if people are struggling financially, they're worried about getting food on the table. They're worried about paying their bills. They're not worried about the extracurriculars like tarot. So while I feel my industry and while I feel my work is important, I also understand if other people can't make it a priority. And that just means that I have to kind of do things a little bit differently and I have to be willing to evolve as well alongside it. But at the same time, this has happened before. So Emily, you said mini love. Did you want a love spread or did you just have a question? But yeah, so, and I'm open to evolving. I'm open to changing. I'm open to being more progressive in my mindset. I like shifting. I'm fine with that. I just wish I had a little bit more notice if this is something that's going to be consistent, because it's kind of been really, really dry this week, but there has been, the last 2 weeks or so where it has felt a little different, You typed a question. Let me see. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate you. Well, I'll be back tomorrow too. So if you do want a reading, you know where to find me. Okay, I went on an amazing first date last weekend. Tons of chemistry and passion. We talked the day afterwards, but it's been quiet from him since. Initial D. Curious what he's thinking and feeling. All right, how is he feeling for Emily? How is he feeling? You're gonna head off now. You take meds. Maybe color. Okay, well have a good night. How is he feeling? So he was feeling the passion as well. We have the wheel here. You got like some fiery energy. The wheel talks about feeling lucky, feeling fortunate. In some interpretations, it means feeling like you got lucky, if that makes sense. Wink, wink. So the wheel to me seems like he got a lot of what he wanted. Spending time with you, hanging out with you, going on this date with you, and things like that. I am noticing the energy of immediately after, like feeling very closed off, feeling like I need to kind of take a step back. So I feel like there's a sense of like completion and wholeness that he feels with you, and a lot of like like almost like a crush on you developing here, but he's saying I need to protect my heart. So I'm wondering what's going on with this. I have the Tower. So that's telling me that he is, I don't know if like maybe this date was just so spectacular to him that he is feeling now that he needs to kind of take a pause, um or protect his heart in some way. Maybe he is feeling like he really enjoyed his time with you, and I think that could potentially feel like it's scaring him. There's also this energy, and I'm pulling a lot of cards for you. But there's also this energy of like, I don't want to be negative, but I'm going to tell you, Seven of Swords feels like kind of like sneaky energy. Like it's possible that he's kind of, I don't know, maybe still pining for someone else or like something like that. Because I have the Five of Cups, and this talks about like feeling a loss, feeling a significant loss. And I feel like maybe he's still struggling with that. He did tell you he went through a really intense heartbreak. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. And Emily, the thing is that he has probably not processed. This is like the hard part about breakups. When you go out with someone and you're not completely over someone else, and that person you go out with is so amazing and so great, and they're everything you could ever want. If you have not processed that other person yet, that breakup from that other person, that feels bittersweet because you're thinking to yourself, I'm not ready for this because I'm still hung up on this other person. And this person that I'm on a date with is so amazing that it's making me realize I'm still not over the other person. So that can be a really hard thing to grasp, a hard concept to grasp. If he was completely over it and maybe like processed it, healed, grieved from it, and all of that stuff, and he met you, I think that he would feel more uplifted, more profound, more excited about the future. And because I think that you kind of showed him like how good it can get with someone, how amazing it can feel when you really just click. The problem is he still feels the need to retreat. He still feels the need to pull back for whatever reason and protect his heart. He's also the emperor here. So this is a very stubborn energy. This is an energy of someone who isn't really willing to make any changes. And no matter how beautiful and how great and how inspiring and how electric you are and the connection is, I feel like he's kind of putting you in the situation by yourself to deal with maybe maybe move on separately from him. Um, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, number one, this sucks for you, and I'm really sorry because when you feel such a chemistry with someone and you feel such a great connection with them, this can be extremely disappointing. He put himself in that situation to let you down, and maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe he just didn't realize that this is how he was going to feel afterwards, but he did. And now he put you in a situation to start kind of feeling him, and now he's not really doing anything about it. And I feel like his action of like falling off is just enough evidence for you to know that he's not really ready to push this connection further at this time. Um, he's still got whatever it is that he's dealing with. It doesn't mean it's not going to come back around. It's still possible. But I think with peace of mind, you should just say, okay, you know what? The ball is in his court. And if he really wants to pursue this connection with me, he will. I'm a strong believer in actions over anything. And I think that the fact that you have not heard from him and the conversations kind of died off a little bit, I think that's telling you exactly where his head is at, unfortunately. The problem with this guy, I think, is that he wants someone like you. Maybe even he wants you. But he has got to work through the other stuff first. Because I think that you will find that he will tell you, or if you guys had these kinds of conversations, you realize that maybe you guys are on the same page about a lot of things. I don't know about actions, because feelings are different than actions. So since that's not the question I asked, I'm not sure. If you want to donate again, we can look into it, but based off of the impression I got, it doesn't feel like he's compelled to pursue this connection further right now. But like I said, feelings are different than actions, because you can feel one way and act differently. You can think one way and act differently. Like I could think to myself, I really want a cookie right now, but my actions say I shouldn't have a cookie. Even though I feel and I think I want one, I don't act on it. So that's why it's a little tricky. Yeah. You're very welcome, Emily. Thank you so much for your donation tonight. I'm happy to hear that it provided clarity for you. I'm so sorry. I just saw your question. I stepped away to light my incense. Would it be the same price for another question? Yes, it would be the same price for another question like that. I wish you could see it better. Did you want me to look into actions for you, or did you have a separate question? He said, okay, except for one more, curiosity's getting the best of me. Yeah, I'm curious about his actions. You're welcome. Just curious if we will communicate. again at all. Okay. All right, will they communicate again at all? Will they communicate again at all? Whoa, we got the Lovers, girl. So that's a yes for me. When can she expect to hear from him? When can she expect to hear from him? All right, so we have the Four of Swords. Swords is very fast timing. So this can talk anywhere from like 4 hours to 4 days. Two of Swords, yeah. I think rather quickly he's gonna communicate with you again. It looks like, this is what I'm going to say. It can be anywhere up to a week, but I feel like he is going to communicate with you. Let's see what his actions are. I think he is going to apologize for maybe his silence, like how quiet he has been. Maybe try to give you a little bit of insight what's going on with him. I still feel like when he communicates with you, you're going to feel better because you're going to feel vindicated or validated. But I still think you're going to feel confused, but hopeful. Confused, but hopeful. I just think he's having a hard time understanding how to take this to the next step, because the Seven of Swords, like I said, this was in your last reading. This talks about like sneaky energy. Okay. So when I say sneaky, it can be for your benefit sneaky, like a surprise party, or it can be something that he's doing that he doesn't want you to know. Or in this case, I think it's something he's feeling that he's not ready to share out loud with you just yet. So I think that he's having some conflict, some inner struggle about these feelings. They feel very complicated. And I think he doesn't want you to see the struggle because maybe he doesn't want to lose out on this connection that he has with you. But I do think he needs to be honest with you. And I do think that he needs to tell you what's going on, because he needs to allow you to have all the facts to make the decision for yourself, what it is that you want to do. I think he's very charming. I think he knows how to put on the charm. But even with the Strength card, you can see this person has like almost like half of their face is one thing, half the face is the other. Sometimes when I see this card, I think two-faced. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, but two-faced sounds bad. But what it means is he's like having a double feeling. He's having a double life. He's having a conflicting situation internally, that on the outside, he's trying to act like everything is fine. But on the inside, he is still having trouble. These are some repeating cards that you've had. Maybe even that one came out. I can't remember. So I'm glad to hear that it resonates for you. So I think you're going to feel hopeful. I think the chemistry between you guys is unmatched. And I think that's why I had said in the last reading that because of how incredible this connection was, it almost made him feel worse. It almost made him feel worse. Like this is harder for him, because he was like, wow, like I really met this awesome girl and I'm not where I'm supposed to be mentally for this connection. And I think that just brought up and resurfaced like a lot of feelings. I think also it made him realize like you are the type of girl that he could fall for, and that's scary. So yes, I think you'll hear from him. I think it could be up to a week. If I were to guess, I hope I'm right on this. And I think he will try to a little bit explain himself, but you can still feel with the Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, that he's a bit feeling a little imbalanced. He's a little confused. He's a little like, I don't know, what do I do? What do I do? Because I don't want to lose her, but at the same time, like I'm struggling. And I think also he knows like what a catch you are. I think he's afraid. I think he's afraid someone's going to come scoop you up, to be honest. I think he's afraid that if he puts the time in to do what it is that he needs to do, that he's going to lose you to someone else. And I think that's also scary. But at the same time, a real man of substance and value would take that risk as opposed to breaking your heart just because they wanted to be selfish. So if he truly feels that he is not ready, then he needs to give you those facts and let you make that decision for yourself. If he says, I'm ready, I had a little hiccup, some feelings were brought back up to the surface, and I was going through it a little bit. I'm okay, but I just needed some time to like process how I was feeling. But I have every confidence that I'm good now. Then great. Then you guys can pursue the connection. Maybe he just needed a minute. He needed a beat. He needed to take a pause. But I think that he should provide more clarity to you as to why you haven't heard from him. It's not that he owes you anything. It's not that you guys are in a relationship. It's not that he needs to be talking to you every single day. However, if someone is interested in you and someone is actively pursuing you, you should expect to hear at least something from them every day or every other day, in my opinion, because it's the action behind the pursuit. You said, wow, you're describing it perfectly. I'm hopeful to know that we'll communicate again and get clarity. Yes. Oh my God. It was like constant smiling and laughing and passionate kiss, all the good things. Yes, he does need to be honest, because if he doesn't communicate, I'll also assume he's not interested. Yes, 100%. So I think he is coming back. I think he is going to provide clarity, but I think his hesitancy with you lies within taking the next step, pursuing you romantically, and then taking the next step. I think that that's a little bit questionable for him. I feel like he's going to want to move a little bit slower. So otherwise, I think you guys are on the same page in terms of like morals and values and understanding each other's humor and things like that. That's kind of rare to find. I just think he needs to get very real and very structured with what it is he's looking for with this connection with you. Because then I think all the roads can open up, but he has to make a decision. Because I still feel like things are kind of up in the air for him, you know? I think he has a soft heart. I think he is a genuine person. But I think sometimes he prioritizes the wrong things, unfortunately. So what he thinks is important may not be as important. So he needs to move you up on that list and give you that opportunity. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it helped you. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight and getting a reading with me. You describe him like you know him. I'm like, wow. Do you know why? Most people I'm known for reading tarot. That's like how I started my spiritual business. But I'm a channeler. I didn't know this about myself. I never knew it about myself. But when I started doing readings, I realized that I was starting to channel. So instead of being like, you know, he has a lot of feelings for you, like he feels, and then instead of doing that, I would be like, he wants to tell you, I feel such a passion for you. I feel such a connection to you. And it's like our energy is unmatched. And I started to realize that instead of saying he, or her, XYZ, I was saying they want to tell you. And then I was giving like first person messages. And I was like, I think I'm channeling. So I've had a lot of people tell me kind of similar things to you, where they're like, you're really like understanding him. You're really describing him really well. Like, it's crazy, like how spot on you are with that, then I started to realize, okay, maybe there's something to this. And that's why, like, even down to like a nickname, I was doing a reading for Eliana. She also is a reader on tarot, and it was someone that she wanted a channeled message from, and as I was writing it, I put the initial E instead of spelling her name out, and she's like, that gave me chills because he only calls me E. And that's when I started, like, I don't know, I really started to get into the channeled message. So I realized that I am a channeler. And I think that might be why you feel I'm able to describe him really well, because like I know him, because in a sense I do energetically, if that makes sense. You get excited about people really quickly, but you also think you're excited about him because you haven't had that great of a first date in a while. Yeah, I get that. I understand it completely. I used to be the same way. I used to fall fast. I used to fall head over heels over people very, very quickly. Actually, my husband, when we first met, almost 10 years ago, him and I were very slow. Like, we talked every single day. We communicated every single day. We moved it off of the app to like text very, very quickly. We met within like 2 weeks, but we did not get official July, August, September, October until 4 months, almost 4 months into us dating each other. And we were only dating each other exclusively, but we didn't make it official until then. And like our whole relationship has kind of been like that, a very slow build. It's like we feel the connection, but we were very focused on building like a solid foundation first. So sometimes the calmest, purest, most genuine, fun, and exciting relationships are the ones that actually blossom into something more. When you fall in fast and you crash hard, you get burned faster. And so I noticed the ones where it was like, I think I created like, I put a quote and I said, I want a love that's the degree before fire. Oh my God, what is it that I said? I can't even freaking remember. It was basically like, because I write poetry. So it was like basically something along the lines of, I want a love the degree before fire, where you don't get burned. Like where you get really close to the sun, but you don't get hurt, kind of thing. And that is how I feel about him, is that it was passionate and it was exciting and it was intense, and it still is, but it was never like I felt like I was out of my mind, out of control, like obsessed, like gonna lose my shit if we don't stay together. Like I wasn't all consumed and I wasn't obsessive. I just kind of let it happen. And I have to say that's honestly probably like the best kind of connection to have with someone. Okay, so it's like a mini poem that I wrote. I want a love that is the degree just before fire, heated to the touch, passionately fueled, the occasional burn, but never enough to create ashes of what we weren't once. Sorry, but never enough to create ashes of what we once were. So that's kind of the message of like, I never wanted ashes. I never wanted a fire, because I never wanted to I wanted something that lasted. I think I had been through, thanks girl, I had been through enough of that. So when you find someone that you feel calm around and you feel, thank you. When you find someone that you feel calm around and you feel settled with and you feel secure and you feel like they're going to follow through with what they say, and you never have to question what their motives are, what they think, or what they want from you, that is when you know you've got it. So it's you shouldn't write this guy off completely, but I do think you should let him be the one who approaches you. And in the meantime, it is also okay to start seeing other people and talking to other people, because trust and believe, if it's meant for you, it will not pass you by. It's going to happen if it's going to happen, Thanks, friend. Thank you again for the great readings. I feel so much more at ease. You're welcome, Emily. Thank you for stopping in and also like giving me some entertainment last night a little bit. I hope that things start picking up a little bit more, but it's always nice to see your face here in the chat. You're the sweetest. It's so fun. I've been a long time viewer. Yay! That makes me happy. So then you kind of know what it's like around here. So I'm happy to hear that. I just also zoomed in on your picture. You're so pretty. Oh my gosh. What the heck? I can't really see people's like icons unless I zoom in on them, but you're beautiful. That's perfect. Yeah, if you want to follow me over there, I also, in my link tree that's in the pinned comment, I also have TikTok too. I went live over there last night and we did some channeled messages. So hopefully I can go live over there a little more often. And I'll probably be offering different free things over there too, just to kind of switch it up. So that way if people find me here and there, they don't feel like they're seeing the same thing over and over. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, feel free to do that. I am trying to build up the community over there too, as much as I can. It looks like we got another donation from Culture. Okay, this is starting to get in my lungs. I gotta shut it down. It's becoming a bit much for me. Hey, Luna, I know you don't do medical questions, but I have a medical adjacent question I was wondering if you could help with. If you can take it, also a different one. Culture, I'm fine with it. I'm glad that you're asking, and I do appreciate you taking that into consideration. Yeah, I don't do like health or medical questions technically, but if you're open to me approaching it from a spiritual aspect, from an energetic aspect, and seeing like what your guides have to say about this, then that's fine with me. I just basically don't want someone to like misconstrue what I'm saying as medical advice. So as long as you agree that you have your own bodily autonomy, any decisions you make are on you, and you don't hold me accountable, then that's fine. We can absolutely look at this from a spiritual standpoint. So if that's cool with you, then we can go ahead and get started. I'm wondering if a stomach issue I've been dealing with is keeping me away from romantic opportunities. The way you approach it works. I agree. I give my own bodily autonomy. My Instagram is just Luna Affinity, at Luna Affinity. But Emily, if you click the link in the pinned comment and scroll all the way to the bottom, all my socials are there if you're interested. See you next time. All right, you're wondering if a stomach issue you've been dealing with is keeping you away from romantic opportunity. 9 months pregnant all the time. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Is this keeping her away from romantic opportunities? You show me a yes or a no. Just keeping her away from romantic opportunities. Okay, so I am getting a yes, but not in the sense that you think. Or I don't want to assume, but it's more so to do with your energy that you're giving off surrounding the issue. So potential self-esteem or confidence. It's like your own, and again, I don't want to like put words in your mouth or assume, but that the energy I'm getting is your own insecurity about it. That, okay, people probably won't be interested if people think, like, because you said you look 9 months pregnant. I highly doubt that, but I'll take your word for it. People might think, oh, is she pregnant? Like, maybe I don't want to be with her because she might be having a baby. Like, I don't know what the thought is surrounding this. Or maybe it's just an insecurity for you or something along those lines. Hey, Joanna, I'm so sorry to say, yeah, I am. My list is closed. But if you wanted to donate $5 to get your question answered, you can, or a little extra to $8 for a little more elaboration on that. If not, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll be doing more free questions at the beginning of that live stream if you want to wait until then. So, number one, culture, that's not something people should be talking to you about. Straight up, unacceptable. Unacceptable. That is absolutely so wrong. And I just want to let you know, I had a girlfriend, we went to cosmetology to school together. Beautiful girl, absolutely beautiful, but she had issues too. And I just can't imagine like just getting those kinds of comments whatsoever. She was fortunately at that time already in a relationship. So I think he was for her and they ended up getting married and having kids and all that stuff. So it wasn't as much of an insecurity for her. But I think people are kind of imposing their own thoughts and views on you. And they shouldn't be doing that because it's actually so messed up. But I can understand how that would give you some kind of complex. I don't necessarily think that that's keeping love away from you or it's keeping you away from all romantic opportunities. I do feel like there are some people out there that are superficial and that would something like that would bother them. But if people, it is weird that people feel okay to say that. It is very weird. Like, for instance, I have hypothyroidism. And so my weight has always been a problem for me. Like, I have always fluctuated back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. My tiniest that I was in my early 20s. And I was very, very unhealthy, in my opinion. And I was like 125, 130 pounds, something like that. I was working out every single day. I was eating small meals. I was taking appetite suppressants. Was I physically fit? Did I look good? Yes. I didn't look anorexic or anything like malnourished, but I still knew that probably wasn't like the best way to live. It wasn't like the healthiest way to live. And I was in the shittiest relationship that I've ever been in. I am in the highest weight bracket that I've ever been in my life. Because of my hypothyroidism, I'm fighting being able to stay like physically fit. And the problem is that I'm eating the healthiest I've ever eaten. I'm organic. I literally don't touch sugar. Don't touch it at all. I haven't had sugar in months and months. I think like the other day I had a milkshake. That was like the first thing I had touched since like the summer. Or no, sorry, Christmas, then the summer before that. You get my point. I work out every single day. I'm on the treadmill every single day. I still struggle. And I'm in the healthiest and best and a most amazing relationship of my life with someone who understands me. And he has the opposite problem. He's super skinny and he has a hard time putting weight on the way that he would want to. And so like he understands like, that kind of issue where it's like your body's not really working with what your brain wants. So what I want to say is that someone's going to care for you and someone's going to love you for who you are and how you show up. And they're going to just continue to love you. It's not a matter of what you physically look like. Are there superficial people out there? 100%. Are there people out there that would be worried that you may be pregnant? That might be a concern for them. But I still think that shouldn't interfere with your romantic opportunities. And I don't necessarily feel like that's an issue from an external level. I think that if someone wants to be with you, they're going to be with you and nothing's going to bother them. There's people who have, what are those? Those bags, because they can't go to the bathroom. It's like those bags that attach to them and it's like where all their waste goes into. And those are in like beautiful relationships. And there's people who don't have limbs and they're in very supportive, healthy relationships. So I want you to wholeheartedly know and like rewire your subconscious mind that if you're missing out on romantic opportunities with people because of your stomach issue, those people are not meant for you. That thank God you dodged a bullet. Because here's the thing, you're only going to get more quote unquote imperfect as you grow older. You're going to age. Right? You're going to get older. You're going to look different. Right now, you're in the prime of your life. You are the best looking that you're probably ever going to be. That doesn't mean that is 100% true across the board. You could maybe in 10 years from now, you could feel like you're the most physically fit you've ever been. But statistically, we age. And if physical appearances, you can have the most beautiful face ever, but if your physical body isn't matching that and you're dealing with a superficial person, it doesn't really matter. You could have I don't know. I hope you understand. Hey, Taka. Hey, Divine Timing, welcome in. He said, oh my God, yes, you're right. That's what I'm trying to say is that if that's what people care about, you don't want to be with them anyways, because what's going to happen when you're not looking your best, when you're not Miss Perfect, when you're like hunkered over the toilet and you're throwing up, or you have to go to the hospital for whatever reason, is that person going to be there and support you during that? Or are they going to be like, oh, I'm superficial and that doesn't live up to my standards and I can't be here at this time? Like, if you, first of all, it's not a real genuine person, but you really want to find someone who is going to be here for you, like at any stage of life, at any stage of time. You want someone who's going to understand where you're coming from and be a shoulder that you can lean on or cry on if you need to, because you're dealing with a chronic issue. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that it's not necessarily keeping you away from romantic opportunities, especially ones that are meant for you. Maybe it's keeping you away from romantic opportunities that you thank God dodged a bullet from. But I don't think that something like this could keep a guy who's totally obsessed with you away from you. You know what I mean? So I don't see that as an option. I've been on both sides. I've been the most fit, most beautiful, most tan, most luxurious, most voluptuous, whatever. And I was in shitty relationships with people who did not support me, did not care about my value. And now I love my body still. Don't get me wrong. I got curves and I'm looking good. But am I my most physically fit? No. And I am in the most in love, most healthy, most steady relationship. And he's seen me all sizes. He's seen me from here to here, and he accepts me and loves me in every single shape and form that I am. I think it's too because he actively sees me like trying to make an effort. Like he knows that I'm not just this slob that's just gluttonous and just like isn't working out and isn't trying to, you have to take care of yourself too. But I just want you to know that love is love and it doesn't matter, what you physically look like. So try to rewire your brain a little bit on that situation. I don't want you to think that if you think that this is what's going to stop you from meeting someone, then it will stop you from meeting someone. So I want you to try not to think that way. And also, I give you full permission to punch anybody in the face who asks if you're pregnant. Because what the fuck? What the fuck? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely asinine. I thought that was like something you're not even supposed to ask. Even if you suspect that someone is pregnant, you're not supposed to ask that. Oh my gosh, girl. Well, I hope that helps you. I'm glad to hear that makes sense and it's resonating for you. Just try not to put that in your head at all. That this is what's stopping you, because it will stop you if you let it. All right, so it looks like we got a couple donations in. I have Taka, and then let's see. Is it Divine Timing? Did you also donate as well? You thought so too. Yeah. Get sassy back with them. I mean, put people in their place. That's crazy. Have a good night, Culture. It's so nice to talk to you. Thank you for stopping in. All right, so Taka says, what does Jay like about me so far, or things he's observed? Bye, girl. Or things he's observed about me. Oh. I've been getting more comfortable, playful. Oh, I like that for you. Divine Timing, you donated on PayPal. Okay, just wanted to make sure that was you because I thought so. Let me post the list really quickly just so everyone knows where they are. I posted the list in the order that it was received. I have an in-depth for Taco and an in-depth for Divine. Divine, I also see your question as well. So if you want to hang around for your turn, that's great. And if you can't or you're busy, I can just go ahead and get your reading done for you, whether you're here or not, since you gave me your question. Gotcha. Yep, I got it. All right, what does Jay like about Taka so far, or things he's observed about her? What does Jay like about tacos so far? Or things he's observed. You just realized you weren't live. Well, number one, my voice, what the heck? Number one, he thinks you guys are like the perfect match. You guys have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords in this reading. From his perspective, he's saying we work really well together. Like work really well together, but also like work really well. So he likes the vibe. Let's see. I think that it's important for him to see your work ethic. I know this is probably like an uncommon opinion or maybe even a hot take. Maybe not so much a hot take, but it's not really something that's thought about, but it's really important to see how someone commits to a career because that tells you a lot about who they are as a person. Do you get what I mean? So, for instance, if someone can't hold down a job, they're not going to be able to stay committed to you. Because if this person can't really even get it together in their career, the thing that funds their life, what makes them think that when you're just giving them quote unquote love, that they're going to be able to stay committed to you? So if everyone talks about, oh, well, look at their relationship with their parents. I'm like, yeah, that's important. But no, look at their relationship with their job. Because if they can't hold it down, and that means that they're not going to be able to pull their weight. They're not going to be able to, do their part. If we're talking about traditional gender norms, they're not going to be able to be a provider for you. Like they're not going to be able to hold it down basically. And that's going to be a problem. So when he sees you in your element and he sees you at work, he gets firsthand experience of what it's going to be like to be in a relationship with you. He sees your dedication and he knows you can be a dedicated partner because you're a dedicated employee or employer. He feels like, you said, I'm hella extreme when it comes to work. He did say he was impressed with me being so disciplined. A slight younger age. He's not hella older than you, only like 4 years. Oh my God. Yeah. So he's so impressed by this. And this is the thing. If you're a dedicated employee, you'll be a dedicated partner. If you're a dedicated employee, you'll be a dedicated mother maybe one day or father. So if you can go to a job and show up every single day and hardly ever call out, that means you're going to show up every single day in the relationship. That means you're going to show up every single day in life. If you have an analytical brain, you're able to think of solutions, you're able to improv, that is resourceful. And that means that you're going to be resourceful in the relationship. You're going to be able to help think of solutions and problems. And you're not going to just quit and give up very easily. And so it's very important for people to see future potential relationships having a career. And I think that's why it's so important for people to be like, what do you do for a living? How long have you been working there? Sometimes first dates can feel like interviews because you kind of want to know, who is this person? What kind of dedication do they have? Now, I tricked my husband because I went to school and I was working full time. I always had either 2 jobs or at all times, or I had a school that I was doing full time and a job. And then when my husband met me, I was also a clinical assistant. And he knew that like I worked really fucking hard. I was like a straight A student. I was part of the National Honor Society. I got the volunteer seal on my on my diploma. I mean, I was like the straight A honor roll student, worked hard, always had 2 jobs, was going to school and working at the same time. And the second he let me enter my soft feminine, that disappeared. And he feels, I'm like, did I trick you? Because I was like in my Capricorn energy. I was in my like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I still am, because I still am like, this is my business and I want to do this, But that was important to him. He saw that dedication, and he still sees it. He still knows that that's something that I'm capable of. That's a part of my DNA makeup. And so that's why I know I tell him all the time, like, did I trick you? Did I trick you? But no, I didn't, though, because he got married to me and I was doing this. I wasn't working out outside the home. But regardless, it's important for Jay to see you in your element, to see what you can do, because in his mind, what you do at work translates to home. What you do at work translates to a relationship, to translate to potential parenthood, to everything that you can think of. And so that's why he really likes this about you. And these are the things that he has observed about you. He also feels very comfortable in your presence. There's something about you that he just feels at ease. He feels, do you know, like the I guess example I'm being given is like when you take something at the end of the day to get the edge off. So like you may take like a shot, or you may take like have a glass of wine or a gummy or work out or something like that. Basically, like you kind of take the edge off for him. You provide this level of ease and this level of comfort to him that he really likes. He also loves seeing how you work with other people. So there's a collaboration effort here that he is feeling like, wow, you know, I like what people think about her. I like how she's conducting herself. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my drink real quick. I don't know if it's allergies or the incense, or I don't know, just talking a lot. I'm not sure, but my voice is feeling a little off. I'm gonna get some tea. So, and he feels too, like another message I'm getting is that you don't really let things get to you for a long time. Like he seems to view you as someone who gets over things very quickly. Like you might have a moment of like frustration or stress, but you don't let that control you. Don't let that like, you don't hold on to that. You just kind of like say, okay, and you move on from it. So I think that he's seen you maybe in moments of potential overwhelm, but I feel like he's saying she doesn't let it overtake her. She still remains calm, cool, and collected as well. She's very zen at work. She tries not to let this overpower her as well. I think he's very much just celebrating you. I think he likes the way you look. I think, do you guys wear uniform at work? Because I'm getting something about he likes the way you style yourself, but I can't tell if it's your dress, like how you look in this outfit, or if you're able to wear what you want. But there's something to do with the way you put yourself together, your hair, your makeup, your smell, how you rock an outfit, basically. I think that he's enjoying it. He's seen your angry side. He's like, dang girl, I know you had that side. Well, see, that's the thing, is that he's getting all of those sides of you. He's kind of seeing and putting the pieces together. Okay, so he's seen you in both. Okay, because I was like, what's going on with this situation here? So you rock the uniform well, and he also likes the clothes you wear outside of work on your day off. So he's seeing different sides of you, but at the same time, it's like with a level of respect. It's with gentle eyes and understanding that this is what you have to do and this is your job. There's a playful energy here that you guys are having, or you've had. 6 of Cups is like the energy of comfort, but also feeling like you can be a kid around each other. And the 6 of Cups also feels like maybe he's looking at you as someone who he feels like he has known for a long time. Like even though you guys have not known each other your whole lives, it's like you have this feeling like you guys grew up together, or like he identifies with you in some way. Like he feels like you get him and he gets you, and maybe you would do really well around his friends or around his family. So yeah, that is what I've got, Taka. Does that answer your question, or would you like to add on? Perfect. You're welcome. All right, this is for divine timing. Sorry, I had to put out my incense because I'm like, oh, it's a little strong right now. All right, let's take a look at your question. All right, what do you need to learn from your current workplace? What do you need to learn from your current workplace? Jay and Bay, hello and welcome in. Jay, were you in here earlier? I think you might have been. My free list is closed for the night. You guys are more than welcome to donate. My price list is in the description of this video. Yeah, my free list closed over an hour ago. I will be back tomorrow evening. These two actually came out together, so I'm going to keep them together. All right, so divine timing. There is a message that you'll have to kind of interpret for me, but basically it's stating that if this is a new job, this is necessary for you. And if it's a place you have been for a while or a little while, that this may be something that you need to leave at some point. I have a lot of transitional energy here, and this card kind of talks about like making a break for it. So you'll have to tell me, like, have you been at this job for a while, or is this a newer job? And then I can kind of go from there. But the Ten of Swords, it talks about, and it's with the High Priestess, it talks about your intuition telling you that something needed to come to an end. Needed to or needs to come to an end. Death and rebirth talks about changes. It talks about transformations. It talks about transitions. It talks about the need to go from one thing to something completely different. And then we also have the Knight of Swords, which talks about making a break for it, sometimes making hasty or impulsive moves, but feeling the need to get out. And if you feel good at this job, I'm getting another message that this could mean the need for you to kind of branch out into something additionally. If you've been at this job for a while, the need to kind of like do something else maybe at the same time. You're working 1 day a week at a job you've been at for a while. Main job you just started right 3 months ago. you work 40 hours a week. So I feel like what they're wanting from you or what they're suggesting from you is branching out or maybe doing something else, doing something different. Ah, I see. So one of the biggest things that I'm looking at here is the 10 of Swords with the High Priestess. This is talking about the need to follow your intuition. So it's like another thing is asking yourself, what is your intuition telling you? What is it telling you that you need? Do you need to let go of the 1 day a week job and just focus on this? Because, you know, what does that mean? Does that mean you're working 6 days a week? You're only getting 1 day off? You know, there needs to be some kind of slack, some kind of break that you provide for yourself. So is there something else that you can get going on the side as soon as possible that doesn't require, you know what I'm hearing actually, divine timing? I'm hearing passive income. I'm hearing you need to do something that is creating income for you while you sleep. And it's not requiring more of your time exactly. So, investing or if there's something that you can teach, maybe courses, or if there's a product that you can make or something that you can sell online, like on Amazon or a TikTok shop, drop shipping. Like, is there anything that you can think of that you have a talent for? Even, it doesn't even have to be a talent, but just something that creates passive income for you, income while you sleep, because that's the problem here is, yes, investing. So looking into that, obviously making smart moves with that, but maybe learning about it, because what's happening is you're trading your time for money. And I don't want you to do that because you're going to be extremely exhausted through that means. The main job doesn't pay you enough to work only one job. I want to grow at my new job. The position I'm working at is just foot in the door. So I definitely feel spirit asking for you to branch out. Yay, that makes me happy. I feel like just go with your gut on that. Because yeah, you already are, you know, like it's just too much. So it doesn't mean you have to do all of this at one time, right? We can layer this into our life. You can look into investing and you can say, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this started. Let me go ahead and get that started. And until I start seeing money being made that I can pull from, and while some other, you know, you might want to layer it. Like you might want to invest in multiple things so that one of the things you can kind of get an income for, and then the rest you can be investing in. And then maybe at some point you'll be making enough to where you can like dial it back a little bit as far as the amount of time that you're exchanging. Also, divine, how are we living? Because like I say to my husband, I'm like, maybe we actually, it's not a matter of feeling like we are lacking. It's not a matter of not having enough. It's just that we're trying to use the amount that we have that is enough in the wrong location or with the wrong type of lifestyle. So if there's anything that you can think of that you can do, like an alternative way of living, or if there's any kind of subscriptions that you can like cancel, or if there's certain things that aren't necessities, you know, those are things that you can think of. But I remember like when I was in my early 20s, all I was thinking about was I'm by myself, I'm single, I don't know if I'm ever going to get married. And I was looking into tiny homes. I was looking at land. I was calling banks to and I had no one to help me. And I was calling banks and trying to get loans. They'd never heard of tiny houses before. I couldn't get a loan from any bank. I could barely even get a loan for a plot of land, let alone a tiny house company. Now, I did have a tiny house company that offered financing. That was potentially the plan, the route that I was going to go down. But I did have like a contractor. So the main thing was just getting a loan for the land. And I had amazing credit. but it was just such a new idea that I just couldn't get anybody to get on board, and I kind of let that go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, is there things that you can do like that maybe is not necessarily conventional, but it's going to free up your life a little bit more? Living, you have rent, but is there like alternative stuff? Like, is it just you? Do you have kids that you have to support as well? I know there are a lot of people think that this is completely crazy, but if I were single, or if it was just me and my baby and I didn't have any other source of income coming in, I would actually get a tiny house. I would live out of an RV if I needed to. And now that idea is much more popular now. But back when I was 20, 21, we're thinking 15, 16 years ago, this was not well known. I'd say tiny house. Have you guys heard of a tiny house? Everyone was looking at me like a deer in headlights. No one knew what I was talking about. But that's so accessible now because we've come such a long way that would be the route that I would take. And, when you're in a tiny house, even if you're being financed, you can cut your rent in half. That's an option. You can literally pay, maybe now you're paying anywhere from like $12,000, $13,000 to maybe like $2,000 a month. You could cut that in half, and then you could just pay for the lot that you're sitting on, and you're probably shaving off $400 to $600, a month off of that alone. And maybe that can, get you out of that extra job that you have to take. It's like, is there alternative ways that you can live? Can you start a garden instead in your home? Like a little one to kind of get, make it so you don't have to go to the grocery store all the time. Can you work with a co-op? Can you work locally with a butcher instead of buying ground beef or chicken every single time you need it, every time you go to the store? Can you get it from someone locally? Maybe buy in bulk, but it'll save you money in the long run. And again, Divine, you don't have to take any of this advice. You really don't. But what I feel from Spirit is you're having a headache. You're having to trade a lot of time for money. You are constantly thinking, racking my brain, what is it that I can do to make more of an income? Hey, Philomena, thank you so much for the donation. Let me just double check here. You're going to be next. Like, what is it that I can do? And, there's other people too that they share their life. Like, they'll be cooking, they'll be cleaning, they'll be organizing their life, and they're making money from these videos, from this content that they're posting. Like, money is accessible for us. It's just how much are we willing to think outside of the box? I went live on TikTok for 30 minutes the other day, and I actually made money by going live, because people were sending me gifts and stuff. Was it a lot of money? No, it was not a lot of money. But it showed me that it is possible to make money in other ways. So if you need to go, if you can just think outside of the box, basically. And I feel like if you're directed in investment, if that is something that you can like, really work from that space, I think more power to you, because you know what? Nobody knows how to do that. Not a single person I know knows how to invest. And I think that is a skill, that is a talent. And once you figure out how to invest, then you can teach a course and teach other people how to do that. And then maybe you can make money from that course. You said you're working on refinancing your car, exploring your options. I love that idea. I do have kids. They don't live with me at the moment. That does make sense though. Yeah. So I'm only saying these things just because I want to help inspire you. Inspiration. And I see movement here happening for you. It's just like, what's your niche? What's the thing that you can do that's going to help support you? What can we cut back? What can we alternate? What can we adjust? And maybe it's going to take some time to build, but if you can figure out a niche, if investing becomes your thing, and you can literally sell that shit. You can go, you know what? You can get on TikTok and you can be like, I am a single mom. I was working 2 jobs. That can be a pain point. I was working 2 jobs. I was like, what am I going to do? I am drowning. I need to figure something out. And the one thing that has really come through for me is investing. But that's scary because I didn't even know where to start. I didn't even know what to do, how to do it. No one taught me these skills. So I had to learn it. And I want to share that with you guys. Like, that could be a thing at some point. So it's like, it doesn't have to be investing, but basically like investing in yourself, learning how to do investing, and then maybe being able to duplicate it and share it with other people and give a course for a really affordable price, like $10 or something crazy, then people will just start paying you for that. They'll be like, oh, $10, no big deal. I'll see what this is all about. And then you can start making money that way too. And this could eventually branch out into something even bigger than you could have ever imagined. So basically, when it comes to your job, you're in a transitional period. They want you to get fired up. They want you to get inspired. They want you to branch out of just this way of thinking of working for other people. They want you to stop trading your time for money. They want you to learn how to create passive income for yourself, whatever that feels like, because you have a new beginning. So they want you to brainstorm. They want you to really do your research, really think about what is it that I'm good at, or what is it that I could be good at, that I could scale and potentially sell to other people, that people would be interested in? Or what is it that I can do that maybe if I'm not sharing with other people, I'm still finding a way to help myself and help my own family? Because that's what I want for you, Divine. I don't want you to feel like you're having to constantly work multiple jobs just to create an income for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a fun way to live. So if you have to get out of this rent situation at some point, if you've got a plan for the future and go, you know what, I'm getting myself a tiny house and I'm going to pay $600 to $800 a month. And then I'm going to find a lot to live on that's like $400 a month. And I'm going to be paying like $1,000 to, $1,200 and knocking off like a couple $100s off of my rent. Well, then that's what I've got to do. If I've got a garden and grow the vegetables that I use a lot of myself so that I'm not constantly going to the store, that's an option, for you as well. So, hopefully that helps, Divine. Let me know if you have any other questions or if you want to add on to your reading. And if not, I'm going to move on to Philomena. You're welcome, Divine. It was so good talking to you. Perfect. I'm so happy to hear that. All right, Philomena, this is for you. I've got your donation. Just need your question. Phew. Did you make the right decision at work by cutting off your friendship with T? Let's take a look here. It looks like we got another donation as well. Hey, Tina, welcome in. You're going to be after Philomena, okay? All right, did you make the right decision at work by cutting off your friendship with T? right. Did Philomena make the right decision at work by cutting off friendship with T, please? These actually came out together, so we'll kind of connect them like that. All right, so we have an overwhelming yes, 100%, absolutely, 1000%. You made the right decision. Here's the thing. You have the Seven of Swords. So this talks about how someone may not have your best interest at heart. It can talk about sneaky energy. I'm having a cat fight going on in my kitchen right now. It can mean that this person might have had selfish motivations and that you need to surround yourself more with people like the Hierophant and with people that are kind of on the same wavelength as you. I don't know if this person likes drama. I don't know like what's going on with this person or what the situation is, but seeing the Seven of Swords, I kind of don't trust that energy. It can mean that someone's like not giving it to you straight, kind of holding back. There's reasons to feel like you can't fully trust this person. And the energy here is take a step back, maybe feeling like this just isn't going to work, or this isn't going to work out because you may feel restricted in some way by this person. And the Four of Pentacles here also talks about feeling just like not overwhelmed, not inspired, not excited about this relationship or this friendship with this person. Like they kind of keep disappointing you in a sense, and you feel the need to like rest and protect your heart because you felt like maybe this wasn't necessarily going anywhere or not going the way that you thought that it should go. But it feels like with T that this person was thinking a little bit more about themselves than maybe you. And I feel like you don't necessarily need someone to make you a priority above them, but you at least want to feel like you are a priority. And so this person, it's making me feel like you're needing to find more people that are like you, that have more values, more morals like you, maybe similar upbringings and traditions and the things that are important to you. You want to feel that you have that in someone else or within someone else. So whenever I see these not so great cards, it does make me feel that there is a need to take a step back. We also have the Four of Pentacles paired with the Eight of Pentacles. So this is talking about the need to keep to yourself, okay? The need to keep to yourself. The Hermit is all about isolation. So with the Four of Pentacles, you can see she's kind of keeping her hands to herself. She's not looking at this person. That's kind of like you. You're like, I need to protect my energy. I need to really protect my energy, or maybe something not great is going to come of this. I'm not saying T is a bad person. I'm just saying that he mostly is focusing on himself, focusing on his needs, focusing on what it is that he wants. And I don't think they're necessarily as in alignment with you as what it is that you're looking for. So overall, I do feel like you made the right choice. I think that you'll be happier kind of keeping this distance from this person. Does that answer your question, Philomena? All right. Philina, hopefully that answered your question. If you would like to add on, just let me know. And next up, we've got Tina for a mini reading. Tina, what is your question, friend? Do you want to make an appearance? All right. What is B's energy towards Tina? What is B's energy towards Tina? B's energy towards Tina. Well, we have the devil here. So this is the card of temptation. So this person can be very tempted by you, maybe want to take a risk when it comes to you. But this is also the card of the energy of like, I'm not in the best place. I'm like, the devil is essentially the things in your life that stop you from being the best version of yourself. This can be people, this can be negative thought patterns, bad habits, addictions, like just the stuff that you need to heal from, temptations, things like that. So I feel like he might be like very like, I don't know, sexually overactive. I don't know how else to say that. Like, I feel like there's maybe some chemistry with you, like some physical attraction as well. But I also feel like whenever the devil shows up, it's like this person just isn't, they don't have like the capacity to have to form a healthy relationship right now. There's a lot of like changes that are happening within him at this time, or maybe even within your connection. I do think that he does have good intentions. I think that he just hasn't had the opportunity to work through maybe some things that he needs to be working through. This 9 of Wands also indicates his energy towards you is very guarded and very observant. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if you feel like you're not getting much energy or effort from him at this time. The sun here in the 4 of Cups indicates that no matter how much warmth and positivity you bring to his life, he still feels disappointed in some way. Sometimes this kind of spread can indicate like mental health issues as well, is that he doesn't really know why he's feeling the things he's feeling, or he doesn't really know why, what his motivations are. And he needs to understand more of like his own subconscious mind. But like I said, the Tower here, especially in this card, even though this talks about changes, it also talks about revelations and epiphanies, and maybe having a better understanding or being able to provide himself more clarity about how he feels about you. The Tower, a lot of times people get scared because they think that their whole life is going to get uprooted and crazy things are going to happen. But in this deck, you can see there's butterflies. So there's positive transformation despite maybe what things look like on the outside. And then we also have Judgment, which is healing. It's renewal, it's rebirth, it's absolution. So asking for forgiveness, providing clarity, trying not to allow maybe past guilt or shame or negative feelings being brought into this relationship. So Tina, it feels like for his energy towards you is that he has a lot to work on and he has a lot to sort out. And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he's not giving you a lot of effort right now, because he's just not really feeling super inspired. And that doesn't mean that you're in no communication. I'm just saying you're not seeing a lot of passion, I guess. But there is physical chemistry I think that there's a transitional situation that's happening right now for him. And I think that that's kind of the wave that he needs to ride at this time. If you want to tell me a little bit more about your connection, I can see if there's anything else I'm picking up on. But that's basically what I've got for you right now for this question. He started to reach out again and the passion has felt intense. That doesn't surprise me. You know why that doesn't surprise me? Because it's the first card in this reading. He's definitely, there's temptation, there's I'll put it all on the line to be with you in terms of like maybe wanting to be physical with you. Lots of chemistry, lots of passion. That does not surprise me with the Devil card. Death card's very sexually charged, okay? But yeah, you got the guardedness here. So I think what's happening with him is I think that he's kind of working through his feelings when it comes to you. He's kind of going through the motions, and unfortunately, he's taking you along for that ride, good, bad, or ugly. He is taking you along for that ride with him while he tries to figure this out. But you got the transformation here. Things are transforming. He feels like you're a goddess. He feels like you're very beautiful and very connected, very empathetic, very compassionate, genuinely good-hearted. But it's very clear that he's got some things that are like tying him back or holding him back a little bit. So I think, what do I think? I think there's nothing wrong with continuing this. I think there's nothing wrong with going along this journey with him, but I think understanding that even at this point right now, he's still not fully there to commit, to provide, to maybe match your energy. I think that's something you have to know going into this. And then whatever you do with that information is, what you do with it. If you'd like to add on, let me know. If not, I'll move on to the next person. If you ask what his future actions will be, is that an add-on? Yes, it is an add-on because actions are very different from like energy or feelings. So that's what I had said earlier to someone else, because like people, for example, can think about wanting a cookie. They can be like, oh, cookie sounds really good. I feel like I want a cookie. But then they go, you know what? I'm not going to eat a cookie though. So their action is I'm not eating a cookie, but their feeling is I want to have a cookie. You get what I mean? So just because someone feels a certain way or has a certain energy towards you, it doesn't necessarily lay out actions. Yeah, so that would be a mini reading for $8. let's look into actions. Hold on here. I'm going to shuffle for you now. Oh my gosh, sorry. I didn't mean to scare anybody, but something was about to fall off the cabinet. So I'm shuffling for you now, Tina. Once that comes through, I'll let you know. Future actions, if any. Okay. All right. Future actions. I got it. Future actions from B to Tina, please. Future actions from B to Tina. Dang. I don't like that Three of Swords coming through again. Oh, okay, wait. This is making a little more sense. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right, we're okay. No worries so far. No worries so far. Let's pull your last card. What does Spirit have to say? Okay, you're good. No worries. I didn't like seeing the Three of Swords coming out because I was like, oh no. But it's at the beginning of your reading. And since you guys have already had a disconnect or a quote unquote separation, that's just talking about the separation that you guys have already experienced. The Six of Cups right after it, which provided more clarity to me, it shows reconciliation. So you guys had separation and then you guys came back into contact because you said he started reaching out again. So that's kind of telling that story. We do have the Lovers and the Sun and the Knight of Cups. So this indicates like an intense romance and passion and just like a strong connection. I see maybe even like what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a rendezvous. The word coming to mind was fling, but that's not quite right because it's fling is more fleeting, and this feels more like you guys are getting together, like you guys are physically getting together. There's a lot of like intimacy, so I think you can expect from his intentions to see each other, to go on a date, spend more time together in person. I think that if you're open to a hookup as well, or making love, or like however you want to word it, I feel like that would be on the table for him as well. So I think he wants to see you in person. I think he wants to feel you around him. He wants to be in your company. He wants to be in your energy. And I think he wants to spend a lot of time with you. He wants to feel like fun playfulness with you. This card is the card of dating, going on a date. So this could be any kind of thing of romance. This could be a dinner date. This could be doing something active or fun. This could be doing something out of the norm. This could be going and seeing a movie. There's a lot of different interpretations of what this card could be. But this card specifically talks about romance. It talks about bubble baths and candlelight and like aphrodisiacs and just like that kind of thing. So I'm feeling like a lot of intimacy, a lot of closeness, a lot of connection from him that he's looking to have with you. So this reaching out to you, he wants to transfer that into seeing you in person. Well, see, so the Devil is the feelings. So you were asking what his energy was towards you, and that energy, that Devil energy is there. But remember, the energy of the Devil does talk about a physically and sexually charged connection that you guys have. But the Devil is indicating that he still has things to work out for himself. Okay. He still has to sort through these things. So we have to keep in mind, like feelings are separate from actions. Which is why I said in the last reading, that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with like exploring this with him, but just keeping in mind that he still has some things that he needs to work through in order to get to the same level that you are, in order to match your energy, in order to give back to you in the way that you're available to give to him. And that's okay if you're along that journey with him, as long as he's treating you right and as long as he's making you feel like a priority and making you feel important. There is nothing wrong with riding alongside someone while they sort these things out. But you have to feel like a priority to this person. But what I can say from his perspective, as far as his action, he wants to see you in person, girl. He wants to reconnect, reconciliate. He wants to see you in person. He wants to be close to you. He wants to be around your company. He wants to experience your humor, your laughter, your fun, your playfulness. He wants to go on a date. He wants a lot of one-on-one time with you. And that's his action. That's what he intends on doing. Does that help? You're very welcome, Tina. You'll have to come back and give us an update. All right, so next on my list, I have Divine. Divine is back. Okay, so Divine. Have a good night, Tina. Thank you so much for stopping in. It was good seeing you. Hey, April, my free list is closed for the night, but you are more than welcome to donate if you're interested. All of my pricing options are listed in the description of this video. If you're here for free reads, check back tomorrow when I go live. I offer free reads the first 15 minutes of every live stream. They are yes, no question options only. Thanks, Tina. All right, let's do this for Divine. All right, how does your person view you? How does the person you're asking about view you? Okay. Divine. I'm getting one of two things. Either he views you as just a friend, or feels like he wants to start from a friendship and blossom into something more first. Because you have the friendship cards, the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles. It's like the collaboration, like I'm comfortable being a friend. But you do have the Fool, which talks about like a new beginning. So it's very possible that he's saying like, I just view her as a friend, but you never know. Or it's important to me. He's saying it's important to me to establish a friendship and make sure that we have solid ground before we discuss anything further. So yeah, you'll have to tell me, hopefully you're in here, but you'll have to tell me like what the nature of the connection is. I'm not getting a lot of romance, to be honest. I'm feeling more like independent energy right now for him. So I feel like, well, hold on, let me ask. Is he open to something more than friends? Oh, you are just friends. Okay. Is he open to something more than friends? Is he open to something more than friends? Okay. Will he ever be? Okay. So at this time, he's not interested in being more than friends, but they are saying that could change. That could change down the line. It's just not where he's at right now. He's feeling much more in an independent energy. Like I feel that he's in this place where he's kind of like, I just want to do my own thing. Like I'm staying independent. I'm keeping to myself. I'm focusing maybe more on other areas of my life at this time outside of romance. I do think that romance could happen later. I've got to reiterate that. The Knight of Cups is here. So the Knight of Cups is like, as I said to Tina in the last reading, it's everything of romance. It's bubble baths and candlelight and intimacy and going on a date and having dinner together and doing romantic gestures. And, so like something is telling me that he, oh, you said you're just friends. Wait a second. I just saw this. That's crazy. I didn't see that before. You said, I just want an overall of how he views me. We're just friends. I didn't see we're just friends until this comment. So yeah, I feel like he is open to that at some point. I do feel like he wants this for himself. I do feel like he sees himself having a connection with someone and being able to show and demonstrate love in that way. I just think that as of right now, he's like shut off to that idea. But let's see how he looks at you as a person. Just tap into that energy a little bit real quick. He's a great guy. How does he view her as a person? All right, so Nine of Pentacles is back. How does he view her as a person? All right, so he feels like you've been through a lot, but he finds you to be very inspiring because you don't, like, he feels like you don't want to let it show if what you've been through or the hardships that you've been through. Like, you've experienced a lot of loss and a lot of disappointment, but for whatever reason, he feels like you still believe in the impossible. You still look at the glass half full, or at least this is how he's perceiving you. He feels like no matter what's going on, you're just like trying to look at the silver lining. So I don't know if he makes you feel positive and he's just getting that, what he's putting out, and he's getting that back from you, or if just in general you just come across as like a very strong person to him, is what it feels like. You come off with such strength and such admiration, and I think he feels so inspired by that. You're very independent, you take care of shit, you get shit done, like you do what it is that you have to do, you don't really complain. And he feels like that's a really great quality to have. I think that he does to some extent feel like you feel a little lost sometimes, like you're not quite sure what path to go down. Like sometimes I feel like he feels like he can kind of sense that you don't exactly have the life that you dream of, and you're not really sure exactly like what to do. You just kind of do one step in front of you at a time. You don't really know like what all is out there for you, but he views you as someone who is just generally very positive. You don't let hard things get you down, and challenges don't change you or jade you or make you apathetic. You're just a genuine, very good and sincere person. And you rise to the challenge, that's in front of you. So I think, as you say, he's a great guy. He's like, she's a great girl. She's a great woman. Like, really, really like her. Like, really think that she's got a lot going for her. I just don't think he's ready to see you in that light just yet. as far as anything more than friends. But I don't think it has to do with you specifically. I think just has to do with his season of life. Good. I'm so glad. That makes me happy to hear. Have a good night, Divine. Sleep tight. I'm going to leave the list open for a little while longer just in case anybody else wants to come in. So we'll just do maybe a last call for anyone else. And I'm going to go get a drink real quick. All right, friends, that is where I'm going to leave it for the night. It was a great live stream. Thank you guys for all being here. I really appreciate it, and I loved seeing you guys. I will be back tomorrow, and I will be back on Saturday as well. I typically don't work on Saturdays, but last week I went live, and I'm probably going to do it again because my husband was like, it was like an hour and a half. It wasn't a big deal. So he was able to play video games and do his thing, and we were able to get some readings done, so that was fun. So I'll be back on Saturday. I can't guarantee I'll do every single Saturday from here on out, but I'm just going to take it 1 week at a time, and we'll go from there. But I will be back tomorrow with more free readings and more donated readings, and I will see you then. Have a great night, everyone.